What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Kennesaw State Pistol Playbook in College Football 25. Now, there are not many pistol-oriented playbooks in this game. There are some, and ones that consider themselves as pistol playbooks are like half pistol, half gun. So I don't know if you want to treat that as, hey, it's a heavy pistol playbook. This one is the most pistol-oriented playbook in the game in terms of a team playbook. You also have the pistol alternate playbook. That's pure pistol. You can't get more pure than that one. But when it comes to a team playbook, this is where it's at. If you want to run pistol, I suggest you either pick this one or that alternate playbook. But we're going to cover this playbook, and it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. It's got a nice variety of personnel groupings and a lot of traditional play action run typical pistol stuff I think you're really going to enjoy. So we're going to cover the formations and concepts and play types and personnel, and hopefully by the end of the video you have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So let's start off with the formations. As you can see here, it's going to be pretty much nothing but pistol, but we got a little bit of shotgun, so I want to start here. We got gun wing, 9 plays. You got doubles halfback weak, that's 11 personnel. This was 12, this is 11. Then we get into another 11 personnel set with trips, tight end, offset, and that's it. So you only got 3 gun formations. So I don't think you'll ever feel tempted to use gun, but if you need to, you have a little bit of it in here. So you can go through some of these. You got 9 plays at a wing. Nothing too crazy here. Nothing too exotic. You go over to doubles week, about the same thing. You got your run, your play action, a little RPO every now and then, but you got 24 plays here. So this may be your base gun formation if you feel like you need to run a little gun. Then you got 18 plays from trips, tight end, offset, but you're going to notice some of these formations look exactly like the pistol counterparts. So again, if you need a little gun, you can use it, or you can skip all this and do nothing but pistol. But I'll just go ahead and tell you, this isn't a very big playbook because there's not a ton of pistol formations and plays in this game, as we'll see over there once we get over to the concept and the count numbers and such. So let's talk about the pistol. Out of the gate, we got train, pistol train. This is a 22 personnel look. So 1 is technically a fullback, and you got your 2 tight ends, 85 and 86. Then you got strong Y off close. This is a 21 personnel look. Then you get into strong tight. We're going back to 22. So you got some heavy duty pistol formations for your short yardage, or if you just want to run it down the defender's throat. Then we get into strong I wing. We're not done with those 22 personnel looks. This is another nifty little one. Then we get into weak Y off close. Now more 21 personnel. Then we finally get into some one back looks. Wing tight Z. This is a 13 personnel look. Then we get into wing close. There's 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. Wing, that's another 12 personnel. More 12 personnel with wing slot. Then we get into wing slot over. Guess what? More 2 tight end looks. Then we get into U off trips. We're not done. More 2 tight end looks. And we're finally getting to our 11 personnel. So I really wanted to mention how some of these heavy play or formations can be with all this 22, 23, 21, and even some 12 and 13s. A ton of it is in here, but you finally get to spread out a little bit with doubles. Pistol doubles, 21 plays there. Doubles Y off, Y trips, Y off trips, and then you got basic trips. Does that look familiar to what we saw right here with trips, tight end, offset? You go back over here to your trips, and we got trips open. So notice we got quite a few 11 personnel formations. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we finally get into some 4 wide. You got trips open, and you got trips left open. So there's no empty formations. Again, it's pistol. If you're going to go empty, there's no point in being in the pistol. But you got plenty of 11, 12, 22, 23, and we're going to talk about those personnel a little bit later. But I just wanted to point out the diversity of the different looks you can throw at a defense, even if you're going to be in pistol the entire time. So when it comes to pistol formations, normally what I do is I like to look at formations that have some unique rarity to them in terms of not many playbooks have them. Well, this is a pistol playbook. There's not a ton of playbooks that has a bunch of pistol. So a lot of these pistol formations are going to be kind of rare in their own right. So I'm really not going to cover like these real specialty ones, because again, all these kind of feel special, at least in my opinion. But what I do like to do is go through and see if I can find a good pre-snap motion series to kind of work off of, if that's your thing. If you're not a pre-snap motion guy, by all means, you can skip this part. But here we got in the train formation, we got a nice little series of power O, play action, and a power built off of that. So what that is, it is just that fullback going in motion, bringing in an extra blocker to the right side, and hopefully you can find a good little play right here to pick up a nice first down. Really nifty stuff. And then you do play action off of that. Then you can throw in that other run on top of that. So you keep on going. You keep looking for the pre-snap motion. Again, you don't have to use these if you don't want to. There's plenty of other plays that really work together without pre-snap motion. I just really want to point these out. For example, at a strong tight, we got a Z motion, flanker drive, duo, and Z spot. Notice that receiver is going in motion, and then they're snapping the ball. Really neat stuff there. You go to strong eye wing. Do we have any pre-snap motion? No, we don't. What about here? What about wing tight Z? What about wing close? Now, there's not a ton of pre-snap motion in this playbook, but I still just want to mention them. Like here we got a P8 Power O. It'd be nice if you had the Power O built in with it with some pre-snap motion, but that's okay. Wing slot, here is another little series. We got a Power O and play action off of that. Notice that H-back is going in. You're doing play action on top of that. I'm going to go ahead and select this one. Let's see if I can make this work halfway decent. So here we got just basic play action with a little motion built in. Let's see what they're going with here. I think they're going man, if I'm not mistaken. We can try... hit this curl, that may get picked. That's just good defense. But again, you got a little flood concept on the right, as you see right there. Really neat stuff, but you got a Power O run concept built in along with it. So let's just keep on going. Wing slot over. I'm not seeing anything there. What about you off trips? I don't see anything here. What about doubles? There we go. I thought I saw a jet sweep series. So you got a jet sweep, you got a fake off of that, and you got another run built on top of that. You keep on going. So notice we got a nice little variety of pre-snap motion, even though we don't have a ton, if that makes sense. So here we got another jet sweep series right there. You keep on going. We're here at wide trips. Do we have any here? No. What about off trips? I don't see any there. What about true trips? I don't see any there. What about trips open? You're probably not going to see a lot of pre-snap motion out of these 4 wide sets, but you just never know. I don't see any here. So another thing I want to point out is notice the play count. So I just talked about it earlier. This isn't a very big playbook. So you go over here, notice the play counts, 15, 6, 12, 18. I think the most I saw was an 18 formation. So you see like here, we got a 21 with doubles. That's pretty high. But there's just, most of them are 15 or 18. So again, it's just not a very big playbook. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. But again, it's a rarity playbook. It's pistol based. Let's talk about personnel. I kind of hinted at that earlier. The bulk of this is going to be 11 personnel, but not technically. We actually got a nice, good variety of things. 23 personnel is a goal line. 12, we got a ton of 12 personnel. Absolute ton, especially for MB and pistol, and I love it. You go to 32 personnel, that's your QB kneel. Your 22, this is the most amount of 22 I've seen in any playbook outside, I guess, of some pro-style playbooks like Iowa or Michigan, where they go under center with I formation, things are strong or weak. But here, if you want a lot of pistol two-back looks, this is where you go right here. Really cool stuff. Then we got plenty of 21 built in. You got these two formations if you need it. Strong Y off close and the weak version of that. 13 personnel. You have a formation. You got wing tight Z. And you even got a little 10 personnel. Your 4 wide looks, trips open, and the lefty version of that. Let's talk about concepts. So again, notice the play counts aren't very big, but you still got more than enough here to have fun with. Let's start off with the runs. Inside zone, as usual, this will be your base run concept. Everything's kind of built off of that. You got plenty of zone splits. So anytime you have like a tight end off the line, you're going to see plenty of zone split stuff there, but it's still the same concept. You're still running up the gut. You got 1 ISO. You got 14 powers. That is a lot. I suggest you use them. There's just plenty of them in here. And if you're going to have that many powers, guess what? You're going to have probably that many counters. Power and counter go really well together. I'm going to go ahead and select a counter. I hope I can make this work. I really enjoy these. It just comes down to getting decent blocking if you can find it. It takes some patience to let your blocks develop. But if you can just find a crease and just get whatever you can, you're going to have a whole lot of fun seeing those guards and tackles move around and such. So we got plenty of powers and counters. We got 6 draws. I kind of expected that. This isn't a drop back pass heavy playbook, but you have 9 outside zones. This is a really high number, mainly because this is a pistol playbook. You're going to have a lot of outside zone type stuff. So anytime you have an under center based playbook, your pro styles with any single back and whatnot, you're going to see a lot of outside zone. Well, pistol is technically single back, but with the quarterback 5 yards off. So it doesn't shock me that we have this many stretch built in to a lot of this stuff. So plenty of outside zone if that is what you like. I would definitely use this as one of my base run concepts for sure. And we got a sweep. So again, inside zone, power, counter, and do outside zone. So you only got 4 concepts you really need to focus on there. Let's talk about option. We got less plays here than we do basic runs. We got 4 load options. These are your basic speeds. 21 reads. Yes, 21. You have to use read option if you're going to use this playbook. And I'm not a read option guy. I'm just not good at it. But there are 21 of these. That's an absolute ton. You got 4 speeds. We just looked at those. You got some triple. You got 3 of them, but you got triple if you like to use it. Then you got RPO reads. You got 4 of those. Not many. You got just 2 peaks. And you got 12 alerts. So this is not an RPO heavy playbook. It got a little bit in it, and notice most of these are bubble based, which I like the bubble ones, by the way. But otherwise, don't pick this playbook if you're going to run a ton of RPOs. That's more of a shotgun thing. You go over to quick pass. We got 5 Ohios. If you like a go and an out route underneath, you got plenty of that in here. 5 is actually a high number from what I've seen in other playbooks. You got 2 Omahas. You got 3 scats. That's kind of that little Z spot, but with a swing kind of built into it. 3 of those. You got 9 slants, and as you would imagine, you're going to have a bunch of stick to go with it. So slant and stick always go together. You look through any of these, you notice right there, there is stick on the left. Pistol, Y-off, trips. You got slant on one side, stick on the other. Again, they always just kind of combine themselves. Let's talk about medium pass. We got 4 choices, so there's not many of those. If you're a choice route guy, don't pick this playbook. You got 11 curls. I like a big curl. I like a curl. I like the hitches. We got double moves. We got 5 of those. We got 3 drives, 3 levels, 3 mesh, 1 Salem, a couple of shallow crosses, a few slot crosses. We got 15 smash. Smash is usually the most common medium pass concept in the game. We got 5 spots. Notice that spot route looks very similar to that scat we looked at earlier. And then we got a Texas concept. So there's just not a ton of these. What was the highest number? 11 of curls. And I guess how many smashes were there? 15. Again, just not a lot of plays here, but I guess you don't need 100 million plays. You just need enough to make it work. Deep pass. We got more deeps than we do mediums. We got 2 divides. We got 11 comebacks. I'm a big comeback route guy. Those work really well against man. You got 8 daggers if you like to go in the slot with a dagger or a dig underneath it. You got 1. I'm actually going to go pick one of these. Let's go pick pistol wing slot. Again, I like these hard routes, just ins and outs and goes and things of that nature. Here's just a simple drag route for some easy yards there. You can really stretch the defense with those go routes, and then you can try to go over the middle. That's going to get picked off with a dig or a drag underneath it. But anyway, just really cool stuff there. You got 5, what was it, 5 of those, or 8 of those actually. You got 1 double dig, 8 double post if you're a fan of those. I am not. Floods, 9 of those. You got 13 verticals, pretty typical about any playbook. You got 3 meals. You got a couple Portlands. You got some shot plays. Those are some play actions we just looked at. And we got some switch, 4 of those. And you got 1 Y cross. So again, you got a little bit of everything, but not a ton of anything except for like verticals and your comebacks and some daggers. You talk about play action, it says we got 9 boots and 9 slides, but we're definitely going to look at a different way and show you how many true play actions there are. When it comes to screens, you got 3 bubbles and you got 5 flankers, and those bubble screens we looked at earlier, those are just a few RPOs. But if you back out and you go over to the play type, let me get past this really quick. I accidentally hit the wrong button. If you go over to your play types, this is where you're really going to see how many play actions and screens you got. So you back out, go to play type, go to pass, you go to screen. We got 13 true screens. So you throw in a few of those RPOs. You got enough screens, but it's not a big part of the offense. But here's what I wanted to mention. Play action, 60. That is an absolute ton. I'm sure I've seen a playbook or two that's got more than that, but not many. I'm here to tell you, this is what Pistol is all about. You run the ball, you go play action, true play action. I'm going to pick this PA shot. Let's see if I can make this look halfway decent. Looks like they're going, let's see if I can hit that guy. This maybe I threw it a little too hard on that one, but it was a one-on-one situation. Anyway, there's just so much play action. You have to use this. It all starts here. Inside handoff, play action, outside handoff, those stretches, more play action. This is what it is all about right here. Anytime you got 60 of anything, I mean, that has to tell you something. We can look at some other ones with those runs. Like I mentioned, we got a bunch of inside handoffs. The bulk of this will be inside handoffs. We do have some outsides. You got 12 of those. You got a pitch. You got some counters, your draws, a fullback run, and a QB run. But again, it's all inside handoff. 57 of those, play action off of that. Then you go to option. They're not an option-heavy playbook, but you got some in here. You got plenty of those read options and a few speeds, even with a little triple built in. So your run, your play action, built in some of these options if you got the quarterback that can handle it. Then we got these RPOs. This is not an RPO-heavy playbook. I talked about this already. You can use them if you need to, but this is not what the playbook is all about. So this is what the playbook is. It's pretty simple. It's just pistol. It's run, play action, use those reads and speed options, and that's kind of it. It doesn't have anything too exotic in terms of concepts, but you don't really need exotic. You just need execution, and plenty of concepts in here will let you do that, especially out of some really cool formations like that pistol train and some of these other heavy ones. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.